What's my stuntman's name? Bill, you're my best friend.
The hilarious Keegan-Michael Key is here, talking his new Hulu series and so much more. And we've got the stories that define the week on People in 10. I'm Darren Carp, bringing you everything you need to know about pop culture right now. We've got 10 minutes, so let's get to it with the first 5. Starting with big news this week that Rihanna will hit the stage for 2023's Super Bowl halftime show.
Apple is taking over from Pepsi as this year's halftime sponsor, and they're coming in with a bang, tapping Rihanna to headline for Super Bowl 57 in Arizona.
Fans around the world reacted in a big way.
Celebs flocked to her announcement post to share their excitement, like Justin Bieber, who spoke for all of us when he wrote, "The Queen is back."
While Katy Perry showed her excitement, and Lindsay Lohan chimed in with 2 heart emojis.
Lizzo's comment was pretty relatable too.
On Monday, Rihanna stepped out for the first time since the big news.
We spotted her heading to a music studio in New York City. There's no word on what she was there for, and we still don't know when we're getting that new album, but she kept it casual in a black bomber jacket and comfy sweatpants.
And with the Super Bowl on all of our minds, we're keeping an eye on which teams might make it there too. Tom Brady's Tampa Bay Buccaneers are #1 in their division, even after taking an L for their first home game of the season on Sunday. Tom's kids were there to cheer him on, but his wife Gisele Bündchen was notably absent. A source tells People that she continues to be dedicated to her kids and is working on personal projects. And while Simu Liu and Jade Bender have seemingly parted ways,
you okay?
With the Marvel hero confessing that he's currently going through a breakup. Johnny Depp found a new flame in Joel Rich, an attorney from his UK libel case. A source close to the actor tells People that these days he's in a much better place and genuinely seems happy. And after filing for divorce from her husband of 4 years earlier this month, sources tell People that Emily Ratajkowski is spending a lot of time with Brad Pitt.
Came a long ways.
But they say the duo doesn't appear to be dating formally. Next up, the posts you've been loving this week. Hailey Bieber sent fans into a frenzy when the Call Her Daddy podcast teased that she'd address the controversy around her, Justin Bieber, and his ex, Selena Gomez, in their new episode. And when it finally dropped on Wednesday, she put the rumors that she stole JB from Selena to rest once and for all.
They were not in a relationship at that time, and I think it was the best thing that could have happened for him to move on.
Gwyneth Paltrow turned the big 5-0 this week. Her friend Derek Glassberg gushed about the Goop founder in some sweet birthday tributes, while Gwyneth herself reflected on the milestone, calling it new territory that requires her to own up to and learn from her mistakes. And with the mourning period over for Queen Elizabeth, the royal family's social media is getting a refresh, with new profile pics featuring King Charles, Queen Camilla, and the new Prince and Princess of Wales. In related news, Jessica Alba had a girls' night sleepover for a very regal reason.
We're gonna watch The Crown in honor of the Queen,
including, of course, some tea. Moving on to a story you've been following closely on People.com.
I know we're blood, but this love is bad for me.
Meghan Trainor is opening up about feeling guilted when her now 16-month-old son Riley, whom she shares with her husband Daryl Sabara, was hospitalized.
In an interview with Romper, Meghan explains that while Riley was in the NICU because he was struggling to wake up to feed, the nurses implied that it was her fault.
She claims they kept asking her if she was on antidepressants during her pregnancy.
She admits that she was, but it was the lowest possible dose, which her doctor said wouldn't affect the baby.
You need to let it go. You need to let it go.
She calls the situation bleeped up and notes the hospital staff didn't know what was wrong with her son.
Meghan says they just told her that it was up to Riley when he wants to wake up.
But the mommy guilt isn't discouraging her from planning for the future.
She tells the outlet she wants to pursue homeschooling and that she would love to have twins one day. She calls it a 2-for-1 deal.
In this week's People cover story, Kelly Ripa takes us inside her candid new memoir where she tackles everything from motherhood to Botox to her complicated relationship with Live. And she credits her husband of 26 years, actor Mark Consuelos, for helping her get it all down on paper.
He was just a very, very honest critic, and I really wrote with great liberty about him, and he has such a strong sense of self and such a great sense of humor that I could write anything about him without him saying, "Babe, please don't put that in."
And she means it. No topic was off limits, not even their sex life.
It's the one part of our life that has always been good. Even when we're arguing, it's good. And I think, and I said this before, I think it's because we found each other when we were both really young. And so we really got to know each other. And when you spend such a long time together, There is no inhibition whatsoever. We have no inhibition with each other, ever.
Now let's throw it over to Andrea Belke for this week's Screen Time.
I'm so excited to be joined now by Keegan-Michael Key, who is starring in the new series Reboot, streaming now on Hulu.
I wanted to make a good impression on my new stepson.
And instead, he made it on the concrete.
I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. For question number 1, you have to give me 1 answer. For question number 2, you have to give me 2 answers, and so on. Let's get started. First up, this show is about Hulu rebooting an early 2000s sitcom with the original cast, who have some unresolved issues to work through. A funny scene from the first episode is your character auditioning for a film. The audition doesn't go well.
I was thinking, what if I infused it with a layer of weariness and vulnerability?
Maybe don't think.
It's just not what they taught us at the Yale School of Drama.
Okay, we're done.
But it got me wondering, what is one early audition or role that you got that changed the course of your career?
I didn't have any idea really that Key and Peele was going to happen.
D-Nice.
Do you mean Denise?
Son of a... You say your name right now.
And I was doing a sitcom at the time and kind of hustling in Hollywood like everybody else. And it was our manager. Me and Jordan had the same manager. It was our manager at the time who was the person who came up with this idea. And then it had never occurred to me. And I thought, oh yeah, well, I like Jordan.
The cast is phenomenal. On Instagram, you called them the greatest players in the comedy game. I mean, so funny across the board. When you think back on making the show, what are 2 on-set memories that come to mind that made you laugh?
One on-set memory was, I remember Caleb, who's a really quiet guy in real life. So you don't expect anything. You know, Caleb's just kind of standing there. He's real easygoing. And we were asking about his girlfriend. And he was like, yeah, no, we live together and we do this and that. We're blah, blah, blah. And we said, so wait, okay, so wait a minute, Caleb, how old are you? And he goes, 31. And we go, how old's your girlfriend? 61. And he just said, which is a joke, but it came out of we were, because to slip that in and get us like that was hilarious. There were a couple of table reads, Andrea. I couldn't get a line out. I was going through the script and all of a sudden there was a joke and I jumped ahead to the joke and I'm looking at the joke and I just started weeping. I was laughing so hard. I just put my up. I'm like, it's gonna be a while.
Well, one of the funniest things about the show is that you get to see these characters and how much they've changed since the original now to the reboot. And your character hasn't seen some of these people in 15 years. So in your own life, what are 3 ways that you have personally changed in the last 15 years?
I believe I've slowed down markedly. Another thing that has changed is I was that guy who was always like, I'll do that stunt. I'll do all the stunts. Can I do all the stunts? I'll put my head to the glass. I'll jump out the window. I'll do all the stunts. And I have changed. What's my stuntman's name? Bill, you're my best friend. So another way that I think I've changed, if you're there, you're supposed to be there. You know, Andrea, it's supposed to be fun. Try to breathe a little bit, Keegan, and take in the moment and how fortunate it is that you get to do this for a living.
I noticed on your Instagram that you like to find a work-life balance, which is very important. What are 4 non-work hobbies that you're loving right now?
I am an avid reader. I have been playing a lot of softball recently, which brings back to like Little League when I was a kid. I'm taking more time to be in nature and find a tree or find a tree. I don't live in the desert. There's trees. There's trees. It's like, oh look, a tree. It's like, I'm on the moon right now, Andrea. Right?
Yeah.
And also trying to do a little more of trying to prioritize my family.
Give me 5 words to describe your new show, Reboot.
Unexpected.
I'm stuck and I can't breathe.
Fine, but I'm in a committed relationship.
What are you, 15?
Hilarious.
What if Zach finds out?
Finds what out? That I couldn't talk to your mom yet.
Too hard, huh?
No,
I wouldn't say that.
not that.
Super meta.
Can we just tape this later? Because honestly, I'm feeling really gross right now, and according to Wardrobe, I look like a cow.
We're live to 85,000 people.
Heartfelt.
You played my parents, and then you were just gone. But now that I'm an adult, I just want you to know that I get it. Okay, You weren't my real dad.
And exciting.
Comedy's evolved since you last wrote for television. I mean, honestly, whole species have evolved.
That's what I'm talking about. Come on, guys, let's bring it in.
No reason to do that.
Keegan, thank you so much for joining me. Everyone, be sure to watch Reboot, streaming now on Hulu.
All right, time's up. We'll see you next Thursday.